maybe you got the Madden 24 beta, maybe you didn't, but Madden 24 is around the corner, and there's always a great way and something I love to do. Again, whether I'm playing the beta or I'll go back in the previous year and sort of get ready and teach myself some stuff. And as you guys know, I ran a different play than, well, every single other person in the world this year to tremendous success. And I'm going to break down and show you guys how it works, why it works, and these sort of things and these concepts you can use to take with you as we go into new and different Maddens. So for me, the play I'm obviously going to break down for you guys today is going to be slot corner, and it is out of the West Coast playbook. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be a great play in Madden 24. A lot of times, the best plays and the plays I like to run, they really shift game between game based on how coverage works, whether it's a man coverage game, a zone coverage game, the way that everything works. Blitzing, can I pick certain things up? Is under center viable? Is under center good in the beginning of the year versus the end of the year? All these sort of characteristics will change how you should run an efficient offense. And I'm going to break down why I picked this play for the first time for you guys and walk you through absolutely everything what makes this one of the absolute best plays in the game. And we did go into practice mode to do this, okay? And again, for me, this was in the Doubles North playbook. And what I saw with this, and the reason why I picked this play after running through tons of playbooks, checking out tons of players and all that, was how do people normally play the game, right? I'm not worried about beating the one guy who does things a little bit differently. I'm worried about trying to find a play that I can run as efficiently and as easily as possible versus what people love to do. Now, as you see the play art on here, you see we have a post route on the right? That will beat man coverage, and it actually sits underneath some zones. We have a drag, always nice to have a nice little check down. We have a corner route, always nice to have corner routes. And then that deep in cut. And then we have the running back route, okay? So what made this so good? Well, let's a super popular play this year was spinner, right? Spinner. So one of the advantages we have with spinner versus anything else is we know for the most part that man blitzes were very, very heavy, right? And a lot of times they were sending 6 people, 7 people, whatever it may be, right? If they're sending 6 and then they have a user, well, the user has to guard somebody. So the advantage we always had was being able to check down real quick to that route for the running back. You could really put him on whatever you wanted, but I liked that he was able to get out there in space very quickly. And that was the first thing that really caught my eye here when I was trying to look for stuff. The next thing that I really like is having some compression. This is why gun bunch is so popular, boys. It makes a lot of sense, right? And what this allows me to do is against certain plays and formations, if I wanted to streak both of my guys from the compressed set, they're not going to really be pressed very well. So what you always want to have is that ability here. And what this ability allowed me to do and made my offense very, very good was be able to quick pass just like that. Bam, 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 bam. So those are always the first 2 things I looked at when trying to find a play. And guess what? This play has them both. It has 2 things that I could really do. One of the beautiful parts of a play like this is that being under center, you can't just completely guess and gauge what I am doing off rip. Yes, you probably know the play, but I could actually send the running back either way very easily on any route and get him out of the way. So if someone is constantly running to the right with their user to get the running back, I could send him to the left. The same way where we could have 2 options for quick passes right here, just like that, right? One on the left, one on the right. This is what makes this play very good. The next thing that makes the play good is just the fact that so many people like to play man coverage that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 routes that beat man. Now the running back route does not beat man coverage. You could put him on an angle route or something and he'll beat man coverage there. But the wheel route that he was on, it's not a man beating route. So we do have 4 man beating routes, but then we actually have 5 that help us against zone. Now, year to year, how to beat zone coverage deep for 1-play touchdowns really does change. Yes, in this version of the game. We could do that, but it's not the main portion of what we're trying to do. So again, against man coverage, we just have all these options. And you guys love to play man coverage constantly. Let's pick a stock man coverage play and show you what I mean here. So again, let's go pick our play, slot corner. Again, dollar cover 2 man, right? Again, the other 4 routes will indeed beat our man coverage. All of them will. It will. Each and every one will get open. Now, of course, you may have different things, but the beauty of this is you don't just want to play that, oh, this play is really good against man coverage, but it's not very good against zone coverage. You understand? Like this, of course that happens. But again, you guys have seen this plenty from me. We have 4 routes that just beat man coverage very consistently, and it makes it very hard for someone to defend without over adjusting. If someone over adjusts, good for them, great for them. But we are allowed to quick hike a play like this, which gives our opponent the absolute minimum amount of time. Now, if we were to pick a zone coverage, let's say someone is just baselining as they're doing something, we still have all these options of what we want to do here, right? We have a lot of options. Cover 2s, cover 3s, and all that. Cover 4 is a little more difficult. So the good thing about a lot of what this play is we're attacking the flats on 2 sides. The left side from the drag, the right side from the wheel route coming up there. You want a hard flat? Go for a hard flat, right? The moment you put a hard flat, the corner route from Y, that's going to be the guy that we're looking at. Then what happens here is, since cover 3 was a pretty popular formation defensively, you have X coming back across the field, right? And then B, against cover 3, would come across and get open for basically a 1-play touchdown. So people had to make that decision of who they wanted to guard against. Now, the next part of the breakdown here is who is someone usering, okay? Gotta know who someone's usering. Generally, there's going to be 2 middle linebackers or sub linebackers on the field. One on the left, one on the right. If someone was on the left side linebacker, that would normally force me to not throw the X receiver, because he's going to be going back into the zone where the right of screen middle linebacker is likely just dropping and staying in his zone. If someone was using the right middle linebacker, in this case, I believe it's Ryan Neal on the screen, that would allow me to do whatever I really wanted. So again, based on what they are doing, it allows a lot for me, which is why I love to use identifier, which is why I love to use threat detector, because that super initial notice of where their user is, who's blitzing and all that, allows me just to do so much just quickly. I can just see it and I can just hike and realize, oh, okay, I'm going to be able to get up there. And again, without hard flats, we are able to just ping the flats constantly, right? Just constantly move the ball. And the beauty of what that opens up for us is great. So we have a high-low on the left. We have a high-low across the middle of the field. We're attacking the flats there. And if they do nothing, guess what? We have a potential 1-play touchdown. That's why this play is so amazing. I see so many comments from you guys, and I've seen so many, but like, man, do a different play. No, find better plays. Find better plays. That's the goal of this. If you run the most popular play in the game and someone has seen it 1,000 times, it's going to be a lot harder for you to move the ball in any single Madden. But if you find something that people haven't always seen or played against, oh, now you're putting them at a disadvantage, right? And even for me, a lot of you guys know my play. You know exactly what I want to do. So yeah, makes it difficult. Now let's say this, right? There are obviously slight variations of things that I would indeed do based on people's tendencies, right? So cover 4 was a little bit more difficult for me, I'll be honest. right? It's just a little more difficult because the coverage is kind of going to the places where my players are at, right? But cover 4 struggles with the corner routes. And so anytime you guys saw me do a gameplay and I was like, man, I wish I had my corner routes out here. That's why is normally if someone was playing cover 4 against me, right? And then that is a practice and a timing thing with anything else, because all I'm waiting for is that zone, throw flat, cloud flat, whatever it may be, just turn his hips to focus on the running back route. So as soon as he moves, bam, we're there. Again, constant little tiny adjustments. Me making one small adjustment pre-snap still allows me to quickly hike the ball, right? It does every single time. That's the advantage we have, and we want to keep advantages against people. Again, people loved running over Storm Brave, right? Cool play right here. We can go do these little throws over and over, right? Again, you just got to know what works. Now we're going to bonus content you here a little bit. A lot of times you've probably seen me motion the running back out of the backfield against a heavy man blitz. What this normally does is against a worse player, it actually sort of moves their man alignments around a little bit, okay? And it causes them to have to focus a little bit more right here or readjust their man coverage, right? It does. And that's why a lot of times when we're doing that, this is what happens. So if we just hike the ball normally against something like this, we know that the man coverage, we have the outside corners lined up. We have a slot corner lined up. We have a safety lined up. Well, the safety here is going to be against the running back. As the way it stands right now, the safety is on the running back and the strong safety is on the tight end. Right? We can see that. We know that, right? We know what that is. However, the running back doesn't get upfield very quickly at all. If I motion the running back over, it adjusts the man coverage to be the strong safety now over top of the running back, and nobody is on the tight end. So I am getting upfield a lot faster with just a simple motion here to break the coverage of what they want to do. Again, this is based on the way that people wanted to play this year. No problem whatsoever. Easy. Boys, it can be real easy sometimes, all right? Simple concepts like that, they just always work. And one more bonus play for you guys here. I'm going to turn match coverage on. You've probably seen this quite a bit. Cover 4 quarters against our play. Let's move this back here. Again, I want you guys to understand and know how plays work and start focusing on this. Again, if you have the Madden 24 beta, it's worth trying to figure out some really good offensive techniques and schemes here. The way that cover 4 quarters normally works, a wheel route really messes things up, okay? So if we have this setup, again, I put the wheel route out there simply to attract attention faster, and then we streak the tight end. When we create an overload here, what you'll always see is he just gets open, right? You've seen this play from me, and this is exactly why. If we go back and we look at the replay for these things, we see that the strong safety there passes off to the wheel route, right? Simple as that. So if when y'all run quarters against me or match coverage, this is what I'm doing every single time. Like, man, how does that work? Well, it just does. It just does in the game. The game has little breakdowns. Similar way that real life would have breakdowns of coverages based on certain play designs. However, the AI within the game, let's be honest, it's just not smart enough to figure much out, right? So that is that. This is why this was a great play. This is real simple. It was a real simple breakdown for you guys. Again, not saying go try this play out, but what I want you guys to do is understand that you can find other things that exist in the game that also really work. And again, it wasn't just, oh, CC's running the same play every play. Why do they do that? I'm running the same play for the following reasons. It beats man coverage. It beats zone coverage. It allows me to quick hike. It allows me to beat zero blitzes. It allows me to know exactly where every single thing is very instantaneously. And it makes me playing the game have such a better time and easier time because I'm not having to think and sweat because I've ran this enough that it just makes making these reads and these passes really easy, which is why we passed for like 85 or 90% completion. Hopefully this helps you guys out even just a little bit, keeps your mind a little bit open there. But this is it. I figured it was time to break it down for you guys, and we did. Love you. I'm out. Peace.